Hey everybody, it is September 12th, 2025 here with your after hours recap. So let's just start with the most obvious. And the most obvious is the humongous breakout taking place in Tesla. This is kind of the one that everybody's eyes were on. That's working like a charm. Sometimes, you kind of got to get that, out of your head that if everybody's watching it, FinTwit doesn't move stocks. They never have, they never will. It's institutions that move stocks. And when something trades, 30-40 billion dollars on the day, that's not Aunt Susie, and that's definitely not some traders on FinTwit, myself included. So really awesome move in Tesla. I personally have no plans on trimming this position. This is just a trail position, right? There are sometimes you kind of got to go for the jugular, and this is the kind of trade that can make your year. It can make potentially next year too. So this is kind of one of those trades that I've been talking about for the last few weeks, whether in pre-market prep, whether in the room, just kind of pounding on the table that I don't believe a bull market ends without Tesla making an absolutely gorgeous move. And here we are finally breaking out. The validation, the thesis is playing out, which is always nice. I don't know if it fails, but at this point, no matter what happens, it'll be a green trade. How big of a green trade is really yet to be determined, but awesome move. Congratulations to those of you guys who are sitting in it. I did buy some ETHU today. I bought this thing at 159 bucks. I thought yesterday, kind of with the break back over the 20 and prior day high, 153 was a nice little starter spot. I didn't get my starter in yesterday and after hours. I did buy it 159 today. 159.10. So that's very nice to see it working the way it is. I ended up buying a small piece of XXRP today as well, just kind of seeing Solana push out to highs, seeing IBIT pushing, and I missed my entry in IBIT, unfortunately. I was just thinking to myself, you know what? If Ethereum's gonna go, IBIT's gonna go, Solana's gonna go, XXRP would probably follow along. I sized it down quite a bit, but I am in there. I also bought some Palantir today, just taking out prior day high, 167.80. So it's nice to be in this one as well. And really just the portfolio rocking. ARK, I added more to my position. I've had this thing now for a little over 3 months, and I added to my position a few days ago. And here we are, basically coming right up to the flat top breakout. It looks superb going into next week, so that's really nice. You had a big move in the quantum stocks today. IONQ pushed out to a new all-time high. Very nice to see. Held its gains all day long. Rigetti over 17 bucks I thought looked pretty good on the long side. Just again, they just refused to go away. And over 17 bucks looked pretty good. Really nice push out there today. So those names were acting really well. The gold and silver miners continue to act very well. The portfolio continues to act well, and we are sitting in, I've already mentioned ARK, I'm sitting in CCL, I'm sitting in PDD, I'm sitting in Tesla. I've got CCJ, a little bit disappointing on today's action, but still sitting in it. MP, again, a little bit disappointing on the action, but still holding the 50 days, so just letting it work. Oklo with another nice day. I bought it yesterday. ETHU picked up today. Palantir picked up today. And then XXRP picked up today. So ultimately, the names are working, so that's always a good feeling. It's like, you're kind of just like throw on a blindfold at the moment, and, if you're focused on the right stuff, it's going higher. So that's always, kind of a nice scenario to be in. And ultimately, the market feels, pretty good. It's like now we've got another theme coming along, the quantum names. And you've got, the electric vehicle names coming along, and you've got the SMH sitting right at all-time highs. This SMH looks great. And you've got JP Morgan hitting an all-time high today. So it's like, and I said this like a few months ago, and I'll probably retweet it. You're not taking a market down, period, when banks and semiconductors are at all-time highs. You're just not going to do it. Forget about it. Don't think about calling highs. Don't think about worrying about the market coming down. If you're NVIDIA or your TSM or your AVGO or your A-Lab and CRDO, and then your JP Morgan and your Morgan Stanley and your Wells Fargo, when these names are up, be bullish, and be big bullish. When banks and semiconductors are working, be bullish. And then again, now we've got the crypto names starting to come to life. You've got Tesla starting to come to life. You had Apple and Microsoft perk back up today. You got Google near highs. You got quantum stocks working. You got solar names hanging in there. You've got home builders hanging in there. Yeah, it's like it looks good. The only thing that I thought today was a little bit odd, was the underperformance in the Russell. But again, I don't want to make too much of this thing. Am I really going to make a little bit of a stink, when it has a small little down day in an uptrend? Not really. I'm not going to make a bigger deal out of nothing. The other thing, maybe towards the end of the day, you had a little bit of selling, not so much in the NQ, but in the S&P 500. And again, I don't want to make too much of it, considering it closes flat and effectively still at an all-time closing high, by 0.07. So, let's not make too much out of nothing. We're above the 200. We're trending above the 50. Until something changes in that regard, until we start to see failed breakouts, then I'd be a little bit more nervous. But, failed breakouts, when Tesla is ripping like this, it doesn't look like these are failed breakouts. Again, we'll know more next week. But as far as I'm concerned, things are still acting really well. And so we kind of got to continue to try and get ourselves positioned more on the long side. I have finally done a nice job of getting my portfolio situated on the long side between 10 stocks, which is great. Obviously, a few of them ETFs, but ultimately, things are acting well. Got aggressive on Tesla where I needed to, and fortunately, that is working super. So really no complaints. Like I said, even Rocket Lab today, aerospace and defense, there you go. New all-time high for this one. Break of that 51 level I thought was pretty relevant, and you close up at 54. I thought HWM, aerospace and defense looks pretty good. It also looked like it was Rocket Lab. Oh, KTOS is another one that I think looks really good. MRCY has had a nice setup. This thing, is just trending nicely. So I don't want to make a big deal about, aerospace and defense coming back to life. Palantir bouncing off the 50 and holding in there pretty well. These are leading stocks, right? And Hood had a small little down day. Amazon had a small little down day. But ultimately, the biggest names in the world, the banks, the semiconductors, the most important parts of the market, they are holding in there really well. And then you starting to breathe some life back into the crypto space, aerospace and defense names. So, yeah, ultimately, things look good. Be bullish. Things are bullish. There's no reason to be negative. There's no reason to try and time a top. None of us know where the top's going to be. And when you get yourself onto an absolute monster or a rocket like Tesla, just kind of hold on tight. So that's just kind of my thinking here. I see no real reason to be negative. There are some names that are on the radar going into next week. We talked about a few of them. Obviously, ARK as a potential flat-based breakout. I think KTOS looks absolutely fantastic out of this little bull flag. I think maybe something like NBIS bouncing and finding support at the rising 5-day could be interesting. CoreWeave today I thought was pretty interesting. Shout out to Alec for joining stream today and calling this one out right near the 5-day, right at the 620 setup, like $106. You'd have like a $5, $6, $7 cushion on that thing. So yeah, I mean, things just look great. They're acting well, and we can only take it one day at a time. So hopefully this video finds you guys well. I hope you guys all have a super safe weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday for pre-market prep or for stream in the room. Cheers, guys.